Yo, what's up, guys? Okay, I'm gonna try and keep it quiet here, but we got news in 10 minutes. So let's just we're gonna stay a little bit more quiet until then. Let me just check what news it is. Give me a second, guys. It is unemployment claims. So we're gonna see what happens here. I don't think it's gonna be the hugest move, but I do think these levels right here are gonna be the targets today. So hopefully we get them. And I mean, technically the entry already happened here. If you look at the 3 minute, probably on the 5 minute as well. No, the entry was actually last night when we swept this low. And then on the 3 minute chart, or was it the 2 minute? I forget, or even the one. I mean, it wasn't really an insane entry, but there was this turtle soup that happened after these equal lows got swept. Yeah, guys, I think we're going to push a lot higher today. I said yesterday in the community and also on X that I think yesterday made the low of the year, the rest of the year. So I think these levels are going to hit here, guys. I really do think these levels are going to hit. I might gamble. This is an eval account, and I'm confident of these equal highs hitting, so I'm thinking maybe to try and gamble one of them here. At least to the first set. We got 7 minutes, obviously, till the news, so we don't know what's going to happen, but I think it's pretty darn likely that these get hit. If we get some kind of a sweep down, then maybe we can look for some kind of an entry. But what I'm guessing is going to happen is that this is just going to push. By the way, can you guys hear me? Let me know if there's any issues with the sound. I'm trying to speak quietly right now because it's so early in my house. And I actually just changed the setup yesterday, so I have these lights, and it's easier on my eyes when I wear the blue light glasses, so. Okay, I like this sweep we're getting right now. So again, guys, we're closing above the 5 minute fair value gap. I think there's a 3 minute as well. So right here, you can see we're closing. We swept a little bit of liquidity to the downside here, right? We took out this low right here on this candle. Then we closed above the fair value gap. And now I think the next target is going to be these equal highs. So let me guys know if you think in the chat if I should gamble this. I do have an eval account that I'm using right now. I'm going to use my funded later in the day, probably not until these equal highs are hit. But if you guys think I should buy right now and risk the eval account on this one trade, let me know. But again, unemployment claims are coming out, and I think these highs are going to hit. Damn, I look like a bug or something. Like, what the fuck am I? I look like a tweaker with these red blue light glasses and a red background light. I look like a degenerate gambler. Okay, guys, so this is a super tough call, right? We did just hit this set of equal highs here that happened earlier. We did inverse a 3-minute fair value gap. The entry would have been here, and in theory, you should have taken a partial here. But again, I do think that the target is going to be these two sets of equal highs. So that's what I'm aiming for. The tough part is, though, we are in a new week opening gap. We could reject here. We also have this internal high here we could reject from. So it's a super tough spot to be in. That's for sure. Oh, I didn't even see the chat. What's up, Bob? Bob, are you taking a degen play here? Or Bobby? I don't know. I forgot what you like to be called. Well, bellies. Bro, I set time limits on my... some of the stuff on my computer. Like screen time limits on certain apps, and it's not working. All right, so we are rejecting from the new week opening gap here, guys. We do have internal buy side here and here. But again, I think the target is going to be these two levels. This level you see right here is the 50% of the leg up, right? So we came down. Let me delete this quick. We came down the last few days. We rebalanced the daily fair value gap. Hold on, let me change this because it's not in the right spot. We rebalanced the daily fair value gap to the tick and turtle souped it. And if you draw a Fibonacci from the low to the high, the 50% level is here. So that's what I'm aiming for today. I think I'm going to try and front run a trade here, guys. This is going to be super degenerate, but I think it's worth it. What I'll do, I'll just limit order right here. Okay. Or should I just wait for the news to come out, guys? It's an eval account, so I don't really care much about it, but I'd rather pass it, you know? So news comes out in 10 seconds. So again, guys, I'm expecting a retracement at minimum to 50% here. So again, that comes from that leg that we just talked about on the daily. Okay, so the news just came out. Didn't push just yet. Okay, so this wick tells me we might come down first. If that's the case, then maybe we get something after. So let's see what we get here, guys. I don't know. I mean, I think if it was going to go up here right now, we should have tagged it already. So maybe we get some kind of a sweep down and then we get the move higher. I'm not 100% yet, but let's see. Also, guys, I just... so now when I start streaming in the mornings, I want to keep it dark and I'll keep these neon lights on. We'll see if you guys like them or not, by how many people watch the stream. Okay, so we're getting that push here. I think we're going to the 50% level now, unless this candle closes its body all the way below this one. So what do you guys think? Should we try and front run this? Okay, that was a big push there. Okay, guys, I'm going to quickly front run this because I think it's going to go up to this high right here. I'm basically risking getting stopped out for the day on this eval account to get to this high. What I'll maybe do is do the 50%. That way, it's a little bit more likely that we don't get any retracements. So again, guys, this is extremely risky and this is an eval account. I'm just trying to pass it quickly. I don't think this is not going to pass the trade, but it's going to make sure that I don't get, I'm not going to max loss it for the day. Okay, so up almost 200 now. See if we can get to that 50% level that we wanted. Up 185. Again, guys, I'm just targeting the 50%, though I do think we're going to go to these two sets of equal highs. Okay, almost there. And again, we might just get a dump before. I'm definitely taking that into account, but again, I'm just risking. I'm trying to get a small scalp here. Again, this is an eval account, so just a forewarning, guys. I'm not trading this in a live account right now. I will trade later in the live account, but not this. There's no setup here. Technically, there was a 3-minute inverse, like I showed you guys earlier. It was right here, right? Your entry would have been here. Stop loss would be a 3-minute close below. So in this case, it would be right here as your stop loss. And then your take profit would be the buy side. Wow, so we're rejecting it right before the 50%, which is interesting. But I still do think it goes there. And again, it's also 5:30, so not a lot of people are actually on the computer right now. It's not like big red folder news where they need to do a lot of manipulation. They might, but we'll see. Okay, so they came down into this 1-minute fair value gap. You guys can see it right here. So we basically want this to hold. You can see that we're bouncing quite perfectly out of it right now. But again, we want to see this completely get a new candle with a body close above this candle's high. If you guys notice, there's zero emotion in my voice because I could care less about this account. But if we pass it, then we'll have another 50K. I mean, I have so many already, so it's just another one that we can add to the copy trader. Okay, so it looks like it's probably going to hit my 50% level. Let's see if we actually get it. And no, not yet. Damn, they wicked this pretty hard after taking out these. Wait, did this just form triple equal highs? No, we took out these two by a sweep. Damn. Hopefully it just continues, but this could easily reject here, guys, now that we took out those internal highs. Might try and like mess people up right before the 50% level. So what will happen here, guys, if we get the 50% rejection and we get retracement, then I'll try and get a new long to target these two sets of equal highs. But what I think will probably happen here is we'll consolidate and then rip through everything. That would be my best guess. Okay, so pushing so far, but again, I want that 50% level. And again, where does that come from? It's the daily leg. So if you draw this out, it's the high to the low of the leg that we formed. The 50% level is right here. It looks like we're about to hit. Should take my profits in any second now. All right, so we just got filled on that order. So that was a, what, $270 win or something. And now we should push through all these equal highs. But if we get a retracement first, then I'll look for a dump and then I'll look to target them afterwards. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, so we are rejecting at the 50% level, so hopefully we just dump. I doubt it. I think we're going to push through both of these, but if we do get that dump, it'll be a really nice, hopefully long back up. But I'll only take that one if we get a good inverse. If we don't, then I can't take it. Wait, what? Did anybody take this long scalp with me? Or did you guys think it was too degenerate for the 3 people that are watching this? And if it's early, so props to you guys who are sitting here watching this. So we just took out this high, guys. I think these two highs are next, like I said, and I think they'll probably do it in one candle, if I had to guess. Okay, so there is... There's one of them, and I think this next one is coming now. Okay, so you guys see how we got this sweep here. I think this one's going to push next, but again, doesn't have to. But ideally, we'd like to see it continue here. If we get a rejection, then maybe we can get a nice setup later on to target it, though I don't think that's going to happen. So if we go all the way back in time, let's see what that equal high set looks like. So if you guys don't know, these equal highs in the market are like a magnet for price. Where are they? So this was the first set that we just targeted. The second set is 2 candles that are very close to each other. So I think we're going to push here. So we're very close here. You guys can see the line. It's kind of faint, but let me push all the way forward here. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to hit it now. They might give us a little bit of manipulation before, but again, I think this is the primary target. Let's look at the hourly quick and see if it's an internal high. So it's not quite. There is an hourly fair value gap here as well. But what we'll probably be targeting here is actually this buy side. Though again, we're already above the 50% level. So anything can really happen now. These equal highs don't have to hit, but I'm telling you right now, I've done this for a long time, and typically these hit. Now, again, I gambled up to the 50%. It's nice that we were able to get these equal highs. Now, if we get some kind of an A+ setup, I'll take it on this eval account. And if you guys want to take it on a funded or on a cash account, you're welcome to. Again, that's up to you. I'm not a financial advisor, but I will try and help you understand market structure. But again, I think, and again, I could be wrong, but I think once we turtle soup this daily fair value gaps low, I think this was this put in the low for the year. Typically what happens in this time of the year is we have a November and December rally. They call it like a Santa Claus rally. And it makes sense from a market perspective, okay? I don't like that we had a lack of displacement at all-time highs, so that to me is a little bit sketchy. But we did form equal highs here, right? And these are also algorithmically the same as these equal highs. They're likely to be hit in the future. So the fact that we balanced the daily fair value gap and the 4 hour, so there's a 4 hour right here. We also balanced some new week opening gaps, and now we're kind of forming like it's not really an inverse head and shoulders, but there is a shoulder, head, and another shoulder. This tells me that we're probably going to push higher into the end of the year, so that's why I speculate that yesterday we made the low. And again, I could be wrong, but that's what I'm theorizing. I'm not going to lose any money financially if I'm wrong. But I will tell you guys this. Actually, I will lose some money financially. I mean, in my long-term stocks. But on QQQ yesterday, I added a swing trade at exactly $460 and $496.60. And if you look here at the low, it's right here, $496.71. That's not the low of this candle. Oh, this one. Am I in the right candle here? Oh, I'm looking at the close. $496.56. So I missed the bottom yesterday by 4 cents. And look what happened afterwards. Massive reaction. So that was in the community. If you guys want to join that, the link should be in the description somewhere. Or you can just follow me on X. I post there daily too. I think I might have even posted that swing trade on X. Not right when I bought it, but a little bit afterwards. So yeah, nothing really much happening now, guys. I think what I'll probably do is, I don't know, maybe we'll restart the stream when the market opens. But what I want to see again, guys, is this high get swept and then probably this buy side. So let's see if we get some, we might get some kind of a setup. We got pretty much an hour until market open, maybe 50 minutes. But I don't really know I don't really think there's going to be much that will happen until then. We do have all of these 4 hour fair value gaps that need to be filled. So maybe we get those. We also have 2 sets of equal highs. Again, these are all-time highs up here. Let me delete some of these off my chart. But again, I'm thinking that these equal highs are going to be the target. And then after that, I could care less. Again, we hit one and we're rejecting here. So maybe we get some kind of another A+ setup to target the next set. That's the only thing I'll consider right now. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe what we get here is a sweep below this low like that. I mean, this is a pretty big rejection, I'm not going to lie. But we are also forming a potential inverse fair value gap here. So keep that in mind. May or may not form. We did sweep this low for everyone that's been long. Maybe now we target the equal high set. I'm not sure on which one is going to happen, but Also, guys, if you're in the stream, please do me a favor and like it. It helps with the algorithm. But you guys can see we formed a tiny inverse here. I mean, it's even smaller than this, right? So this is I've never used this in real life. But technically, we are still bouncing out of this 1 minute FVG. Again, guys, the main target was the 50% level. You can see where I longed. You can see where I sold the order. I did miss a little bit of a move because I anticipate these equal highs will get hit, both of them, but only one got hit so far. And actually, there's no fair value gap forming here. So you can see that the wick of this candle and the wick of this one closed right at each other's levels. So there are no unbalanced orders here on the 1 minute. I also took a crazy trade. Let's see if my executions are up on this trade. I took one yesterday before. Yeah, it doesn't show my orders from yesterday. I'm not sure why. Maybe it just shows the current day's orders, but I took a long at this 1 minute order block right here. And I took my profits at this internal high right here, I believe. Huge move. I was targeting these equal highs that actually just hit in the Asia session or the London session, but it's okay. I couldn't even hold that order on a funded account, or on an eBell or a funded, I don't think. You can't hold overnight, so. So we are forming a potential 2, and you guys can see here that there is a 2 minute FVG that we're holding right now. Right, this is a big up close candle. And if you draw at the 50% level, I don't think we quite touched it, almost. And now we're having an immediate reaction, so keep that in mind. No IFVGs forming on the 2 minute either. But if we are truly bullish, guys, we should get a set of big body close candles above these 2 down close candles to continue higher. If not, we could get a rejection further down here. And there's also a little 1 minute volume imbalance here. So keep that in mind. We could use this as resistance, or we can just push past it, obviously, and go to the set of equal highs that I'm targeting there. Oh, I do want to see. So guys, as you know, before we continue with that, how does this work here? There we go. So obviously Bitcoin is pushing like crazy. Let me get rid of these. We hit 98,000 yesterday. That is so wild. 98,367. So I have a riot position. Let me see if anything shows in the pre-market. Don't see anything yet. So we're at $12.79. This really needs to push. I'm hoping it happens today. If it doesn't, I might close my position out. Obviously, the community was holding this. We've been holding it between the $6 and the $9 range. So I want to see this continue higher, but that's something I'm looking at as well. Okay, let's move out of the way. So we did get a rejection here from the 1 minute volume imbalance. You can see that. What we might see here is now a retracement down and then continuation later. I don't know for sure what is going to happen here, but that's what I'm expecting, is some kind of a retracement, and then I want these equal highs to get hit a little bit later today. Maybe before market open, I'm not too sure yet. Let me look at the 5 again and see if there's anything that I see. Again, a 5-minute fair value gap here. We also have one here, guys. So we have two, actually, a little one right there as well. But I would not be surprised to see a complete retrace all the way down into one of these and then to get the long higher. So what you want to see is some kind of a rebalance of a fair value gap and then an immediate reaction with an inverse fair value gap. That is going to be the best setup you can get in the markets, in my opinion. So obviously you have to understand liquidity, right? So to me, the liquidity is resting at these equal highs right here, and there's an unbalanced fair value gap. But I'm not going to take a setup now. I did take one earlier this morning because of the 50% level, but I want to see an immediate reaction from the mean threshold or the 50% of one of these fair value gaps in combination with a smaller time frame inverse, which we don't have right here. But we want to see something like that. Okay. But yeah, guys, I really want to see a bullish move on crypto miners today. I'm not 100% if it's going to happen, but I might close out my miners if we don't see a reaction today. Because Bitcoin is close to 100K. Why are these not moving? It's beyond me. Okay, so we are getting another reaction out of this 5-minute, but no liquidity sweep, so I don't take it as with that much. I take it with a grain of salt. Right, a lot of the times these big moves, so we had a big move up, right? Then we had a fake move up here, so everybody that was long got stopped out. We're having another fake move. This could be to generate liquidity, right? The low resistance liquidity that you're seeing. But yeah, so we probably want to see lower first and then higher. I could be wrong, but again, I'm not just going to long blindly here. I already did that once earlier, but that was because I had very strong conviction in the play. Now that we've already hit a set of equal highs, it's a lot less likely that we're just going to have a straight up move. Facts from Cameron. Hello, lovely. What's your bias? So you do see we took a long earlier to the 50%. Cameron, how are you, bro? I didn't even see that was you. So we did take and delete this, right? We balanced the daily fair value gap. And that was obviously my bias on X. I called that I wanted to see an immediate reaction from the low of this daily, which we got. And now we have two sets of equal highs here along with the 50% level of the leg, right? So if you draw Fibonacci from the high of the leg to the low, which is all the way down there, See that? The 50% is right here, so I targeted that. But now we also have a set of equal highs above. We hit one of them. You can see that right here, but I want to see the second one get hit. So we're looking for either a retracement from the mean threshold of this fair value gap or this one. They're both 5-minute candles. I'd love to see some kind of liquidity sweep below this low maybe, and then the long back up to buy side. You can see we're kind of forming a 5-minute bull flag or LRLR. So that's what I'm expecting here. Facts from Cameron, did you take a trade yet? And again, this was all because of unemployment, right? I mean, this move right here, it's not really a data candle setup, but I knew that we had equal highs, so I wanted to stay on early to try and target them. So that was the objective this morning. It's not like the typical data candle setup that we get, but it's 5:30. Not a lot of people are looking at this. I think typically these moves happen smoothly without much resistance, which we got here. But again, we didn't get that secondary equal high, so. Cameron, do you, did you take anything this morning? Yes, on BTC, I'm up 150 and thinking of buying at NAS2, waiting for a green candle on the 15. Interesting. Well, we do have 2, 3, oh, on NAS. Yeah, Nasdaq, right? We got some nice green candles on the 15. I think the target for Nasdaq is going to be this internal buy side. Could be even higher. I mean, we could have like some crazy buy days for the next few days up to this set of equal highs at 21,183. We have a set right here. We also have a set up here. So I think that these are going to be the targets for November and December. Again, Santa Rally, I think that those are going to hit. Facts from Cameron. I want to join your class. Can you help me how to do it? Well, I don't really do classes. I mean, I will help teach you one-on-one if you want, Facts from Cameron. But if you want to join the Discord, there's a link. It should be in the YouTube. If not, you can follow me on X, and you'll see a link in my description. You just click on it. It's like a WAP link. In fact, if you guys want, I'll just post it in the chat, if I can even do that. But you can either click on the description below, or follow me on X and click on the description in on my homepage. Let me see if I can post it here. So I guess I'll pin it there for you guys if you want to see it. But you can join from there. And I do you get one free one-on-one class. I can teach you anything you want related to ICT. And then obviously all my plays, all my live call outs, especially when I start streaming. Oh, we're getting a big push on NQ right now. So I think this set of equal highs is going to hit, guys. Yeah, bro, you get one free if you join the Discord. And then, I mean, I haven't really had too many one-on-one sessions, so we can figure out some kind of a system. If you guys want to pay for that monthly, we can even have that set up at some point. But any ICT concepts you guys want, we can learn. I don't really have any like curriculum planned out, but we can figure something out if that's something you guys are interested in. Okay, so we are getting a nice push. You guys can see out of the 5 minute fair value gap, we didn't quite hit the 50% level. We came close, but no cigar. Oh, we actually did. My bad, guys. So the 5 minute is here, and we're getting that immediate reaction. Look how we touched the 50% level, and then we got an immediate bullish reaction. Now, there's no 1 minute fair value gap here. There's a tiny little one here, but it's not obvious, so I would never take that. But maybe on the 30-second here, we had a rejection. I'm not sure. Some kind of a fair value gap. But there's nothing for me to take anymore here. Though I do still think this is the target. I'm not going to take anything because there's not really an A+ setup. Facts from Cameron. Okay, so I love to do that. So just join in WAP. Yeah, just join through the WAP link, and then it'll lead you to my Discord. And then we can do like a 30-minute session. And then if you are interested in doing more, we can figure out some kind of a structure where you can even pay monthly just to do one-on-one sessions. But I don't like to do them too much because they take up a lot of time. And I can definitely teach you guys without doing one-on-one sessions, but I'd like to at least give each person one that signs up. So. But again, guys, for one-on-one sessions, I don't have a curriculum. So it's basically just me and you sitting, and if you have any questions related to ICT, I can help answer them. We can go over certain days of the market that maybe you watched me live stream that you had questions on. There's not really a curriculum. It's more so of you've done studying on the markets and you have questions that you want answers to, or you want to go over specific days in the market. And I can go over ICT concepts, why they worked, why they didn't, things like that. That's what the one-on-one sessions are for. If you have questions about long-term investments, if you have questions about selling options, it can basically be on anything you want. But looks like, guys, again, we are rejecting from the 50% level here. I do expect a push above this internal high, and then these equal highs should hit. But again, there's not really a setup here. We did bounce out of this 1 minute, right? But I could care less if this works. I want to see inverse fair value gaps out of 5 minute fair value gaps, which we have not gotten, right? We have nothing here. It's just chop. Facts from Cameron, that's fine. I want your whole knowledge, whatever you have on your mind related to trading. Awesome, bro. Yeah, I'd love to have a session with you. And again, you don't just get one-on-one trading with the subscription. You also get all my live callouts. I mean, most of the time I'm live on YouTube, but if not, live callouts in the Discord, and then all my option selling plays, my long-term accounts, my swing trades, everything that I invest in, you get. So I think it's a pretty good deal. Now, I'm also not very well known yet. I'm trying to increase that with streaming, but I think it's a pretty good deal. I'm not going to keep it at $19.99 forever. It's going to probably be $100 service in the future, but for now, I have to get a little bit more credibility on YouTube and on X before that happens. Sorry, but any promo code? Unfortunately not, my friend. That is already extremely cheap. I mean, $19.99 for pretty much everything on my mind, I think is, in my opinion, that's valuable enough. It's cheap enough. Like I said, guys, I'm going to be raising the prices, not just quite yet, but I think in the future it's going to easily be $100 service. So I think 1999 is a steal. So you guys can see again, we're bouncing out of this 1 minute. I do think that these equal highs are next. Again, it's risky to take longs here, but I don't think that there's much else as a target right now. We have 23 minutes until market open. So anything could happen, but again, I think right now these two areas are the liquidity for the day. This set of equal highs and then this buy side liquidity. Yeah, factoring Cameron, it's $19.99 a month, but you do get a free 3-day trial. You don't get the one-on-one session with the 3-day trial, but you will get it if you subscribe for at least a month. And you guys have to think, like for me, 30 minutes of my time, I mean, I make a lot more than $20 an hour, so 30 minutes of my time is it's a steal for 20 bucks. Plus, I mean, it's not just that. You get a lot of other stuff, but still. For me, 30 minutes is a lot of time, so. I just saw a post Elon Musk said, just learned tonight at Mar-a-Lago that Jeff Bezos was telling everyone that Donald Trump would lose for sure, so they should sell all their Tesla and SpaceX stock. Wild. Okay, guys, so we're forming another little 1 minute OB here. Again, I think this high is next, and then equal high is above. But I won't take anything unless we get like some kind of a manipulation move down into this area first. I'm not going to take any longs here. But if we do get a manipulation down into this 5-minute fair value gap and then the longs later in the day, that will be A plus, and I think that will be a great setup. We'd make some decent money with it. So you guys see what I mean here? Though it's probably going to hit here, great, like that's good to see. But the risk reward here is just not worth it, right? We've already hit a set of equal highs. I already deleted them off the chart. We already hit the 50% level. So what are the odds right before market open that we're just going to sweep this cleanly? Maybe 50%. But what would be really nice is if we get a sweep down and take out all of this liquidity here, rebalance a 5-minute, this liquidity gets swept, and then we maybe get an inverse from there. So like if we draw it out, that's the wrong thing. Let's say we dump here, we get a retrace into this 5-minute, the mean threshold, and then we get an inverse fair value gap right here. First take profit at this internal high, and then maybe we get another retrace, and then we get the move here. So you guys see how the risk reward is a lot better here, and the RR is a lot better as well, or the dollar amount that you're getting is a lot better. All right, facts from Cameron. I'm in, bro. Bro, let's do it. Awesome, bro. That's dope. So once you are officially in the Discord, you have to download Discord if you don't have it already. but stay in for 3 days. And once you make your first monthly subscription payment, then the one-on-one session section should unlock for you, and then we could do it from there. And you also can DM me, Cameron, on Discord, and we can come up with a time. I don't know what time zone you're in. I forget what you'd said, but we can come up with a time that works for both of us for that session. Give me 1 sec here, guys. I'm gonna open a separate tab here. I want to show you guys something on Nvidia. So yesterday there was like $500 billion in options, if I'm not mistaken. And you can see last night, I mean, we had a move up, a move down, and then we just kind of consolidated. Finally, we're getting a push here. But a lot of people that had first of all, everyone that had puts is getting destroyed. Everyone that has calls, they're up. I mean, from market open, they're up $5. There's probably going to be a lot of theta here. So when you ever see like a big stock and there's a big earnings expectation, okay, guys, we did hit the equal highs now. I think these are next, but we'll see what we get at market open. So whenever you get a lot of call option volume or put option volume during earnings, typically they chop the markets. They don't make it do anything. And that's how they destroy premiums on both sides of the trade. So with Nvidia, I doubt anybody who's long or short here is making money. If you're long, maybe a small amount of money, but okay, guys. So what we'll probably see here, I mean, we did just hit the last two sets of equal highs until way higher up. But what I'm expecting is maybe a retracement here at market open, which is in 15 minutes, and then maybe we get a long up to here, which is that hourly buy side, right? We do have an hourly fair value gap. I mean, we might just blast through it, don't get me wrong. But you can see this is the hourly FVG right here. And yeah, we have to see what we get at market open. But let's just say we kind of dump first. We reject from the hourly. We come down and rebalance this hourly, which we can see is right here now. It also pairs with a nice order block that formed last night with Nvidia earnings. Or was it right here? This is the order block, but this is the rejection we had from Wednesday. We could easily get buy side here. So I'm not going to try and predict which one happens first, but I think this is the next target for the day. And if you guys are in longs or looking for longs, let me know. And also, if you have a setup that you want me to rate, let me know if you guys have any trades that you took, and I'll tell you how good they were. Facts from Cameron. Oh, I already paid for 1 month. Oh, you didn't even do the free trial, bro? That's fine. If you've already paid for the month, then we can organize it whenever. Just send me a DM on Discord, and we can organize a time that works for me and you. Okay, so we're getting rejection, guys, from the hourly. You guys can see that? Yeah, facts from Cameron, I'm Oaf. My name is Ophir, so that's what you guys can call me. It's like short for Ophir, Oaf. All right, I just got your friend request through my phone, Cameron. I think. All right, Cameron, I saw your DM. Cameron, where are you where are you from, just out of curiosity? I just saw your real name. Oh, wow. Nepal, that's crazy. And you live in Portugal. Okay, so what we'll do, Cameron, after I do my live session today, when market opens, we'll figure out what your time zone difference is to me, and then we'll figure out a time that works for both of us, okay? But let's focus on the trading for now, and then after the live session is done, you can send me another DM or I'll send you one, and we'll figure out what time, because I'm in Pacific time. I live in Los Angeles, so we'll figure out what is a happy medium between both of us, and we can do whatever you want. We can review certain days in the market that happened, what trades I took and why. We can review option selling. We can review long-term investing, whatever you have questions on. If you have questions on ICT concepts, we can go over liquidity, fair value gaps, order blocks, whatever you would like to go over. But we'll stay in touch for that, okay, Cameron? All right. Okay, so you guys can see here, this is the hourly fair value gap, right? That we just got right here. We took out two sets of equal highs. Now we could easily get retracements now into different areas. So like we have this hourly fair value gap right here. The mean threshold of the hourly is at 20,828. So I could easily see us retracing there. We have another hourly fair value gap right here. We could easily retrace there as well. And then maybe after we come down into this hourly, we could get a long up to buy side. However, that doesn't have to happen, right? But I would expect some liquidity to get swept first before the longs happen. And right now, this sell side right here is very obvious to me. We also, right now, if you look at the 2-minute, okay, so this is something I want to teach you guys too. So we just swept liquidity, right? Hold on one second, let me draw this out. So we just swept liquidity right here. We swept another set of liquidity, and we entered a bearish PD array. Now we just inversed a 2-minute fair value gap, or I don't know if we just inversed it or we came close. Let's check the body of the candle. Body, the close was at 28.6775. So we actually didn't close below it yet, guys. But once we close below the body, if we get a body close below this 2-minute FVG, that will be a nice short down to this low, in my opinion. But for now, we're reacting bullishly out of it, and the target is still up. So until I see that, I'm not looking to take any shorts. Guys, market open is in 9 minutes. So we'll see if we get anything nice. But again, guys, I already have one trade today. So I may or may not take another one. We'll see what price action we get today. But again, guys, you have to get used to taking 1 or 2 trades a day and be done. I know from experience in the past, I am profitable now, but in the past I wasn't profitable a couple of years ago. And my data shows me that if I ever take 2 losses in a row, I tend to do very poorly afterwards. So I never take more than 2 trades. I average like 1 trade a day. I mean, my data shows like 1.5, which means that some days I'm taking 1, some days I'm taking 2. But when you have a profitable trade, like this is a pretty decent move. This is like 300 and something dollars, if I'm not mistaken. I have to check back. On one NQ contract. That's fine for me for this account. It's a 50K, so that's more than enough for the day. And yeah, so just get used to taking 1 or 2 trades. And if you take 2 losses in a row, you should be done. Definitely don't be trading after that because you can easily get smoked. At least from my data, I know that when I lose 2 in a row, typically things go badly afterwards. So for years now, I've not taken more than 2 trades on a real account. On an eval, it's a little bit different. And this is an eval, but I do want to run this eval up. I don't want to just like gamble it anymore. So we'll we'll take A+ setups on it. And also for you guys, I want to be able to show you on the computer an A+ setup. Whether it wins or loses, I want to show you A+ setup. So if you guys want to follow the trades, you're welcome to. But I'd rather not take like crazy degenerate plays. It's just not necessary. So like though I had conviction that these equal highs were going to hit, there was no setup on the 1 minute for me to take anything, so I didn't. So we got 7 minutes until market open. What I'm expecting to happen here, guys, is just a push to buy side. We had a very bullish reaction out of balancing the daily here. We came up, we formed another order block. We closed above this on the hourly. There's an hourly fair value gap here that we closed above. And now we are targeting internal buy side. So if you are looking to long, I think that these areas are good to do it. I wouldn't take it now because we're in an hourly. I would have liked to take it later. But what I'm thinking is here, if we get a dump below this internal sell side, we should get a nice setup afterwards. But if market opens and we just pump, then unfortunately you miss the trade. That's part of the game. Let me see here on the only new week opening gap that we have above is way up here. And there's also a set of equal highs that's sandwiched in between the equal highs. So I do think that these are going to be a target in the future. I don't know when they're going to hit, but like I said, guys, I think the low is possibly in for the year. We have the daily fair value gap that was balanced, and now typically in November and December and November are typically bullish months in the market. Some people refer to it as the Santa Claus rally. So my thinking is that we're going to get a big rally after this daily fair value gap was balanced, because you have to think the market has a lot of unfilled orders in this daily fair value gap. So I drew this long before. I even called in the Discord that I was expecting a bullish reaction out of the low. And immediately once the low got ticked of the daily fair value gap, you guys can see here, it went down 1 tick below the low of the fair value gap. We had a huge reaction higher. So that tells me that we should go much higher here. We also have a daily fair value gap here that is unbalanced. Let's label it BISI or SIBI, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So this is where I think that the market is targeting at minimum. But right now I'm looking for this hourly buy side. So did anyone else take a long this morning in the chat, or is anybody looking to take a long, or what are your thoughts on the market today? Or if you guys have any other questions or any entries or exits that you want me to evaluate, you can tell me. Or if you guys just want to watch, that's fine too. Also, guys, if you're in the stream, if you could like it, that would be great. It helps the algorithm, helps more people see the stream. There's only 2 likes. And there's definitely more than 2 people watching, so gotta get that ratio up. So I'm gonna look at Riot quickly, guys. So this is one of the plays, if you guys are looking for something super high risk but high reward, this is one of the stocks that I've been adding. I showed it earlier in the Discord, but we added this between the 6 and the 9 level. So I was adding between this whole range right here. And we had a huge push up to 16. I didn't take profits here. We rejected a daily fair value gap, but I think that this is going to run all the way up to all these internal highs here. But I think what needs to happen is we need to see Bitcoin push above 100K. Once we see 100K on Bitcoin, I think there's going to be some big rallies for some of these other plays. So that's what I'm seeing right now, guys. But look at this, guys. Immediate rejection from the hourly. If this 2-minute closes here, I think this will be a great short, by the way. Did we form equal highs here? If we did, then I can't take this. So we actually didn't. But I would never take this either, guys, because market is about to open. But technically, if we get a 2-minute close below this inverse fair value gap, this will be a good short. But I don't like to take anything within like 15 minutes of market open, personally. Normally, everything is manipulation before that, so. Facts from Cameron, can you look at Bitcoin? Yeah, so let's do that quick before market open. I don't know when you posted that, Cameron, because I'm not really looking at the chat, but I've shown you guys that Bitcoin had this huge consolidation leg. So we had this big move from 38 to 74, and then we consolidated for months. And a tip that I want to show you guys, if you take a Fibonacci tool and you draw it from the low of the consolidation to the high of the consolidation, so I take a Fibonacci, and if you have TradingView, take a screenshot of these retracement levels that I use. I use the 0, the 0.0, the 0.382, the 0.5, 0.62. These ones don't really matter so much, but the 5, the 0, the 0.5, the 0.1, 1.52, 2.53, 3.5, 4.45, all these are important. So I'll let you screenshot them. But typically we see these levels hit. So like, for example, this is the 1 standard deviation. Look how we came up above 98 just by a few cents or whatever, a few $100, and we rejected. I think that these levels are likely for Bitcoin in the future. Again, I'm not going to try and predict when this happens, but if we have a really big bull run, I'm looking at the 1.5 standard deviation at 110,000, 2.5 at 134, 3.5 at 158, 4.5 at 182. So again, I'm not guaranteeing those levels will hit, but if you use standard deviations, these work for ICT concepts for the Nasdaq and ES, and they work for other asset classes too. So keep these levels in mind. Screenshot this again if you haven't already. But it looks like market just opened, so we will go back to NQ and see what happens. Okay, so big rejection here, guys. And look, there's no entry on this 2-minute, right? We closed above. We closed, well, we haven't closed yet below. We're waiting for the 631 candle, which happens now. So technically this is a body close below. Wait, what? Oh, we're waiting for 632. My apologies. It's a 2-minute candle. But I would never take this because you can see how we wicked down here and we took out a bunch of liquidity already. If this candle closed with a body below the fair value gap and we didn't have this huge wick, then I think that would be a good short. But you can see here, we're not even closing below. So this looks super bullish up to hourly buy side for now. Ooh, Riot is pushing like crazy, guys. Up 6.5%, almost to $13. We do have a daily fair value gap here. You guys can see it right here. So if we close the daily above $13.50, that'll be very bullish to me. And I think that that will be the start of the next leg higher. But until then, I don't think anything's going to happen with it. And also, guys, so right now, this hourly is holding down price on NQ. If we get an hourly close above, which happens at 7 o'clock, so we have another 30 minutes until then, that's when I would consider buy side. But until then, I'm not going to. Now, the issue with this is that the hourly close is, I mean, it's going to happen in 30 minutes. We could easily just push past this fair value gap without even worrying about the close. So it's a tough place to be in. But again, I've already taken a trade today, which I'm net green on today. So whether I take another trade today is going to depend on whether we get a really, really A+ setup. And right now, there's nothing that I see. So let's see if we formed some set of equal highs here. No, we didn't. So we're just balancing. If you look to the left of the chart, we have another 5-minute fair value gap right here that looks like we rejected from. Yeah, so we rejected from that 5. So this tells me we're probably going to come down and take out this liquidity now, right? Because you have to imagine everyone who is long right now has stops below this candle's low. So it seems likely to me that those are going to hit. And again, we did just officially get a 2-minute close below. Did we not? No, we did not. So we technically didn't get a 2-minute close below, but we have 20 seconds until the 2-minute close. If we get that, I think we're going to get a pretty big dump down to this low. We might even get it before, but again, I would not take this because of this wick that swept liquidity already, but it looks likely. So there it is. And we just touched the mean threshold of, there actually wasn't even an hourly that formed here, guys, by the way. We never got the hourly fair value gap. There is an hourly here. So we could easily come back down and rebalance this and then get a move higher. But I'm not convinced yet that we're going to get a full push today because we already hit the 50% level and we balanced the hourly and we took out these equal highs. So that's all that's really needed so far. Yeah, so pretty big dump. Let me delete some of this off my chart. Also, we have midnight down here, so we could easily come back and test midnight. That's definitely a possibility as well. Damn, Riot is really pushing, guys. Closing above, we're at $13 a share now, so that's good. Really want to see big move on Riot today. If we don't, that'll be concerning to me, and I'll probably close out my position. I'm already up like 40 or 50% on it, so I'm still happy with those profits, but I'd rather close for 100% minimum. Okay, so you guys can see that on the 2-minute chart, after we closed below this 2-minute, we had a big push down. We had sell side liquidity here. We also have some sell side liquidity resting at this low. So this is where I'm guessing the market's going to go now. And so guys, think of the market in terms of liquidity, right? You have to think everybody that's long right now, there it goes. So we hit the low. Everyone that's long, where are their stop losses, right? Obviously that low. And then we had a big push down below this low. So the market runs on liquidity. It needs to generate liquidity to then move higher if it's going to. So in this case, we swept all these people's longs, and now we can potentially get a reversal. But I want to see more than just this leg of price. I want to see maybe a secondary move up, then a move down, then a move higher. But you can see here that we balanced the hourly, and we're not really respecting it. We're just closing below, so it's not a great sign. We do have another hourly fair value gap right here that we could bounce out of, possibly. Let's make it a standard FEG. Interesting, Riot immediately rejecting from the daily. Don't like that at all. %50 level of this hourly fair value gap is at 20,705. So we may get a bounce out of here. But again, like I said, guys, I want to see another leg of price. I don't like to just see a complete dump like this and then immediately expect longs. I want to see more PAs. So like maybe we get a move up, then another move down, and then it's hopefully a move in the macro time. So this is another thing that you guys need to learn about is macros. From 950 to 1010, 1050 to 1110, 1150 to 1210. They're all macro times. Wow, huge rejection. So the algorithms tend to spool price within these time frames. So if you guys want to improve your trading, if you guys want this indicator, by the way, in your charts, it's called ICT Macros by Cognito. So if you want to improve your trading, trade only within these macro times. And I guarantee you that your profitability rate will go up because the moves that tend to happen in the market happen within these macros typically. That's a little gem for you guys. Also, make sure you guys are live because YouTube can lag. If you click on your video, make sure the red button, the red circle is labeled under live. It will it'll ensure that the video has the least amount of lag. Okay, so we're sweeping a lot of low resistance liquidity here. Let me look at the hourly again. I just want to see something. Yes, I don't like that we're rejecting so strongly from this daily. We are also rejecting a daily fair value gap, so let me get rid of this one. I have a lot drawn on this chart, guys. I'm going to get rid of these equal highs that just hit. But you can see we had a pretty big rejection from this daily fair value gap. We didn't quite fill it, right? We hit like 75% of the way at the daily, but we were having a pretty big rejection here, which is not ideal. I know, Tristan, insane move, huh, bro? We had a huge rejection from that hourly. If you guys notice, again, why did I not want to take this long? You never take longs at hourly for value gaps in premium of the range, right? If we draw out this range here, this is high end premium. And we're getting a huge rejection here, which is actually pretty concerning. Yeah, I do not like the fact that we're just dumping today. Like this is not a normal move, especially not right at market open. It's a little bit suspect to me. I'll just keep right on this chart. So no respect to the hourly so far. We have 20 minutes until this candle close. I want to see where this hourly close is at, because that's going to give me a strong bias of what's going to happen today. So we do have this really nice 1 minute inverse. Could potentially be the low of the day, but again, I'm not going to risk it on the first inverse that I see. But you guys can see that we swept this sell side liquidity. Just want to see if there's any other equal lows that I missed here on the chart. Nothing that I see. But we swept it by a tick. And then we had this like pretty bullish V-shaped recovery. But again, I would never take the first inverse that I see. Though it's likely that this goes back up to this high, I would never take this. It's not in a macro. I want to see more price legs. I don't just want to see one distribution candle higher. So is everybody here just watching, or is everybody looking to anyone looking to take a trade? Wow, huge rejection for Riot. Don't like to see immediate rejections like that. But you guys see why you don't take the first inverse? We're immediately getting a rejection here. Now we could go up again, but I like to see more price action, not just taking the first inverse that I see. Yes, we swept liquidity, which is good, right? But that's not enough for me. I need to see more than just that. Let me just look at the hourly again quick. So we do have more sell side guys down here. And this is a little bit of a concerning market structure. Like if you guys look at this, from this point, right, we turtle soup the daily low. This is where I would expect bullish PA and continuation. So the fact that we're now coming back into the range tells me that we could easily just see chop. So immediately this is kind of like a red flag for me for trading today. Because again, I wanted to see after this down move, I wouldn't have wanted to see this down move again. I'd want to see continuation higher. So kind of like accumulation. This would be like the manipulation leg, and then we'd want to see further distribution. So I don't like what I'm seeing already. Now, also what could easily happen is we could make a whole move all the way back up to take out this internal high, but I don't see anything in PA now that I like enough to take a trade. I mean, if we get London, if we get a sweep of London low, we can probably get a retracement back to at least 50% of the range, which if you draw it out, I mean, once London gets taken, it will be somewhere around here. So we'll have to see what we get here, guys. But for now, there's nothing that I like. I need to see more of this leg form, not just down move and now we buy because it went down. Yes, we have liquidity, but we have more liquidity resting here. That is important to me. So this is probably going to go up to this high now, if I had to guess. Because we did inverse this 1 minute. But, okay, so there it is. But yeah, immediately today it looks a little bit concerning to me. It's nothing that I really want to take with a live account right now from what I'm seeing. Maybe that'll change later on, but I don't like this leg of distribution so far. You guys can see also we completely disrespected this hourly fair value gap and we just came down. Now it could have been just to take out this liquidity. It's possible. But I want to see how the hourly candle closes, which closes in 15 minutes. So my hope is that this is just a fake down move, that this is going to wick and then it's just going to continue higher today. I don't know if that's going to happen, but this is one thing I will tell you guys. I do expect a Christmas rally, Santa Claus rally. So if we end up taking out a little bit of liquidity here and then we hold this hourly and create a big wick, that tells me this is probably an inducement candle for shorts and that we're going to go much higher. Not necessarily today, but if we leave a wick here on the hourly, that will signal to me that this is a fake down move and that we should have continuation. So we're going to wait and see what happens on the hourly. So what can easily happen here, guys, is that we come all the way back up to the high of this candle. Again, I would never take this 1 minute inverse just because of the risk involved, but it's possible that this works and that we go all the way up. Again, not an excuse to take a trade. It's just speculation for now. What's really more important to me is this hourly wick. I want to see what happens on this hourly candle. That's going to give me a big determination of what I think will happen today. And we can see already we're getting an immediate bullish reaction. So at least we're getting that. Especially if we inverse this 5 minute fair value gap. I mean, we should at least, I would expect us to probably come back up to this high at that point. Okay, so very bullish, right? I like that we're getting a bullish reaction here. It tells me that this is probably a fake down move. But again, there's not really much that I can take right now to get back up to these highs. I want to see, we have 12 minutes until this candle closes. So until then, I'm not really going to be looking for anything. I want to see, basically I want to see a big wick here on the hourly. That's what is going to signify to me that this is a fake move to then take us higher. We have equal highs here and here on the hourly chart. So these are typically a magnet for price. If you guys don't know, the market loves equal highs and equal lows. So these are typically a target for the market. And I know for sure they're going to hit at some point. But I think these will probably hit in the next few weeks as long as we hold an hourly wick here. That'll signify to me that this is a fake down move, like I said. We have a 3 minute fair value gap here that is probably going to close above. If this closes above, you guys can target, if you guys want to take a scalp trade here, you can target the 50% of this 3 minute FVG if we get the close first. The close on this candle happens at 9:51, so we have 2 more minutes, so it's unlikely that we're going to get an entry here. But just take a note of what's happening here. Yeah, so guys, more and more that I'm seeing this, it looks like we're going to go all the way back to highs here. This just looks like an inducement to me. So don't be surprised if you see this high. Think about everybody that's short right now. They see this wick, they're entering shorts here, and they're like, I'm putting my stop right here. Right, so keep that in mind. Again, this could be the rejection, but more likely what I'm seeing here is that a lot of people that are retail are thinking that we're going to dump today, and they are entering shorts in this fair value gap. So just think about that. Let me look at the 5 minute again. I just want to see something. Okay, so if we get a 5 minute close above this, guys, I'm going to take a long. Hopefully, I mean, if you guys want to try and front run, you can do it here, but I think it's a lot more risky. But if we get a 5 minute close above this fair value gap, definitely will hit buy side. If you want something a little bit less risky, if we get a 5 minute close above this, before this high gets swept, this can be a scalp trade and just move your stop to break even quickly and then target this internal buy side. But to me, this looks a lot more bullish than it does bearish. Though on the chart right now, it does look bearish. I've seen this happen before. It's likely that we're probably going to hit this high again. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you really want to reduce risk, I would wait for a 5 minute close above this fair value gap. But yeah. Also, look at the hourly right now. This is that wick that I was talking about. And we are respecting both of these hourly fair value gaps, believe it or not. We have 8 minutes until the close, so I want to make sure that it does. But this can easily be a buy here. Do you guys want me to take this on my eval and basically gamble that we're going to have a big buy day today? What do you guys think? I'll just wait until the hourly close, guys. We have 8 minutes left. So, I mean, if the move happens first, again, if we get the 5-minute inverse right here, so if we close above both these down close 5 minutes, I'll take a long, but until then, we will just sit and watch, right? Let's see. Also, guys, this wouldn't be too bad. So let me just delete these. If we get a 1-minute inverse here, you guys can also try this. It doesn't look like we're going to get it. It's probably a 30-second one. Yeah, we're not going to get it here. But I think this is a long, guys. You have to think here. There's people that are shorting this 3-minute fair value gap. They're like, oh, we're getting a rejection here. Let's continue with shorts. And they're adding to their positions here. I think this is going to get smoked. But again, that's not an excuse to take a trade. If I'm to take this right now, I need you guys to understand that this is an eval account. And it is completely gambling. That's why I really just don't want to take it. But I'm trying to explain market structure here and what I'm seeing. We haven't inversed this 5 yet, so keep that in mind. I'd like to see this inverse first. What would also be really nice is if we get a down close candle here on the 5, and then we create an order block. So meaning a down close candle, and then the next 5-minute candle closes above this candle's full red body. That would be an even bigger indication to me that this high is coming next. And this 5-minute candle closes in pretty much 30 seconds. So if we see a nice big juicy down close candle here, and then the next 5-minute candle has a body that closes above this 5-minute, this should be a good long. And again, guys, we have 5 minutes till this 5-minute candle, and then the next 5-minute candle is also going to create the hourly candle. So this should be a really good indicator of what happens in the market. So guys, if I see this 5-minute candle close above here, or even come back up with a full body, I will probably take this long on an eval. Never on a live account because that's not a setup. But especially if we get a 5-minute close above here, I think you can target this high. And we're also in the macro time, so it all kind of fits my thesis perfectly. Okay, so we got 4 minutes left on this candle, guys. So we want to see some bullish reactions in the next 4 minutes. Otherwise, my thesis will probably change for the day, and this may actually be a rejection. For now, I don't feel that it is, but could be wrong. And again, guys, anyone that tells you that they know what is going to happen in the market, and they give this mysterious persona, take it with a red flag, because no matter how good you are with trading, your bias can always be wrong. And again, guys, we did take out 2 sets of equal highs today. and we filled the 50% of the daily leg. So this could be a rejection. I'm inclined to believe it's not, but it's possible. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so the 5 minute looks like, well, still rejecting actually. Not getting that bullish reaction yet. But again, guys, I want to see the bullish reaction. If I don't see it, then what am I trading? Nothing. And that's just the reality. Wow, Riot absolutely collapsing too. Down to $11.95. Okay, so we got 3 minutes left in this candle, guys. We basically have to, we really want to see a strong reaction here. If not, then this could actually be a rejection today, which would be unfortunate, but yeah, so we are not seeing that up close move that I wanted. So no reason to be taking anything right now. Look at the hourly chart. This was wicking, and now we have another full-bodied candle here. So it does not look good for longs. We really need to see a huge reaction here in 2 minutes. So this is either a huge inducement for shorts or this is actually a down move. I am still inclined to believe it's not a real down move, but I could be wrong. Again, that doesn't, whether I'm right or wrong doesn't matter because I'm not entering a trade, right? Everything is speculation for now, but if what I want to happen happens, then great. If we get this 5 minute candle close and it's bullish here and the hourly ends up wicking, then that will be a confirmation that I'm probably right. But until then, I can't take anything. And even if the hourly doesn't wick, guys, if we, on the next 5 minute candle, we form a bullish OB here and these two down close candles get closed above, then this is also a good indication that we go higher on the day. Maybe we want to come down and sweep these sets of liquidity first. Maybe we want to sweep London low first. I don't know. Okay, so we got 5 seconds till the candle close. Okay, so the 5 minute close pretty bearish there. Yeah, so right now I don't see any trades. Again, guys, we're 1 for 1 on the day. Really, that's all you need, but man, Riot is really having a problem today. Down 3% after Bitcoin hit almost 100,000. That's wild to me. Okay, guys, so we're just going to keep this in mind. Let me look at the 15 again. Okay, guys, so looking at this hourly right now, okay, I want you guys to note something. We just closed below this hourly for value gap, okay? So right now, this looks really bearish to me. This is like technically an inverse. We swept liquidity. We're inversing an hourly. This tells me what's probably going to happen here is we're going to take out this low and this low. So I cannot be long right now. Very suspect what I'm seeing here. Not what I wanted to see today. And immediately that is a red flag to me. And it makes me a lot more hesitant to take any trades. Though I do think shorts will probably work here. This is not what I wanted to see. So when you have a specific bias in mind, guys, right, and all of a sudden the market does the exact opposite of what you're thinking, especially when you had bullish PA leading into it, we were expecting reversals this week, signifies to me it's like a red flag. So again, I think now that we have this hourly inverse, we're going to go to this sell side and then probably this sell side and this sell side. But I don't know. Something here is not adding up to me. So personally, I think I'm going to stay away from a live account today. I will trade this eval if I see something A+, but for now I'm not seeing anything. So be very cautious here, guys. If you're trying to take trades today, I'm telling you right now, I mean, something is not adding up to me. I think shorts right now are more likely because of this hourly inverse, but because my bias is bullish and I'm not getting delivery like I expected, it makes me feel inclined to stay out of the markets. But you guys can see the hourly inverse here. We got a strong bearish close. So likely that the low is going to hit. We could retrace into this hourly first before that happens, but it seems like we're going to have bearish PA at least for now. Look at the 2 minute and see if I see anything. Nope. 3 minute. Nope. 5 minute. So we do have this 5 minute FVG here, guys. If we get this liquidity sweep and then a very immediate bullish reaction, I think this high is going to be targeted. Let me label this here so you guys can see it in black maybe. Take off the text. Look at the hourly quick. Wow, it's all the way up here. Damn. So keep in mind this high as well, because that's going to be the retrace into the hourly. After this liquidity is swept, I mean, we could easily get a retracement back up to here. But again, guys, nothing that I'm seeing here that's A+. So much better that you sit this out. If I were you, I would just be very cautious today, especially because we were bullish biased and now we are seeing a reaction that we were not expecting. Just guys, keep that in mind. If you're expecting one thing and something else happens, just consider A, that you're wrong, and B, sit out and wait and see more price action before you step into the markets, because obviously something you expected to happen is not happening, and you don't want to be caught in trades where you are unsure, because your emotion level is going to be higher, and those are the days where you're definitely inclined to lose more money too. Huge dump on Riot, guys. We were up 6% on the day. Now we're down 7%. It's unbelievable. We do have a weekly order block on Riot that we're bouncing out of right now. It's tiny. That's the last line in the sand, I think. Crazy. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, there's that first set of liquidity, guys, on the hourly, right? There's that sell side. Now, if we really are bearish today, then we should take out all this sell side as well. So keep that in mind. I do want to draw. Okay, this is the 4 hour fair value gap, so I'm going to extend that out in time. It also represents the low of the daily. So I want to see what happens in these areas, because this is going to be super important. But again, guys, not what I was expecting to see today. So we just took out London, London low. So we could get a reversal from here, guys. Possible. But I'm not seeing any nice 1 minute fair value gaps here. Look at the 2 or the 3. Yeah, nothing looks good, guys, here until the 5. If this 5 minute inverses, this is the last leg that's holding down price. I would expect this high, but until then, I still think this is bearish. Again, we got that hourly inverse like I told you guys about. And I think all this sell side liquidity is coming up, sadly. Yeah, and if you guys look like, I mean, there isn't a bearish, bullish order block right here, right? If you extend this out on time, the high of the order block is here on the 15, which technically we're right there right now. But we reacted from it yesterday. So this is where I took my longs yesterday, if you guys remember. And I took profits. Where did I take profits? Or was it here that I took it? Can't even remember. I'll have to look back on the lower time frames, but I took a long within this order block. I think I took the long right here. And I took profits at this high, or I can't remember, but we'll have to see. But right now we're reacting again from the 5 minute OB. We're also reacting from this, it's a 15 minute OB, and we're reacting from this 15 minute fair value gap. So this could potentially be a place that we get longs. Potentially. I'm not saying for certain yet. I just don't like that we're trading in this range. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of anything yet, guys. I'll be honest. Look at these candles. Like, does this look like good PA to you? They're just all wicky. There's no obvious fair value gaps. It's like, it's just meh. It doesn't scream A+ to me. It doesn't make me want to, like, jump out of my seat to take a trade. If you guys just be patient and wait for, like, something that just jumps out. It's like a light bulb aha moment. Wait for those days in the market and those setups, and you'll be so much more profitable. Don't just itch to take a trade because you think that something's going to happen. You have to be very certain. Be like, have that light bulb moment. If you just wait for that, your success will be so much greater. So the macro time is about to end, guys. We have this minute. We're at the 10:10 macro. So nothing's going to happen just yet here. Let me check something, guys. 1 second. Let me look at some of my data here. I want to see, because something looks pretty familiar to me here. Interesting. Okay, so again, guys, I'll repeat this. Ooh. So we're bouncing from the order block. We're bouncing from the 15-minute fair value gap. And we're about to inverse this 5 here. So this actually doesn't look half bad, at least to target this internal high, which is the hourly fair value gap that formed so far. So if you guys want to take a scalp, this doesn't look half bad here. At least up to midnight. See if I get filled here. Yeah, it looks like I'm not going to get filled, guys, but this is probably going to hit this high now. And stop should be to break even here, guys. And there it is. So we just got this 5 minute. That's very bullish, guys. Actually, I like this a lot. If both these 5 minutes close above, I think I'll take a long up to this internal high. Let's see what happens here, though. Okay, so we're getting a very bullish reaction, guys, from the OB again, and after taking London low. So this is actually a very good sign. Now the hourly, I mean, we're kind of forming a wick now again. So we're forming a wick here, which is nice. This could potentially be the low of the day, potentially. I want to see a 5 minute close above this for value gap, and this will be another setup for the day. It's going to be higher risk, especially, let's just say the entry is here. Our stop has to be a close back below the 5. I'm not going to take profits here. Okay, guys, I'm going to take profits at this internal high. So it's almost a 3-to-1 with one contract. It's a pretty big risk. Oh, $1,530 for a $4,000 win on a 1 MNQ contract. That's wild. I mean, on 1 NQ contract. That is huge. You guys realize how big these moves are today? That's crazy. So no close above on the 5 yet. We still have another 5 minutes now we have to wait. But this could definitely be bullish, guys. I'm not going to lie. But unfortunately for this model to work, we have to wait for a 5 minute close above here. And again, guys, this one trade, if I take this on this NQ, on this funded account, or this eval account, I'm going to get stopped out for max loss if this trade loses. So again, do not do this on a real account. I would say use MNQ today, no matter who you are. Unless you're trading with massive size, that's a different story. But to me, this looks like we are probably going to go higher here, up to at minimum this high. Let me look at the 3 minute, 2 minute. Yeah, but we honestly have to wait for this 5 minute close, unfortunately. But we have 4 minutes left, so we may miss it. We may miss out on this move, but that is okay. But yeah, guys, I have a feeling today may still just be that full-blown reversal that I was talking about earlier. May. I want to see a 5 minute close above this for value gap, and if we do, that'll signal to me at least to take to move my stop to break even at this high, and hold up to this high. The next macro time also starts at 10:50, so we might have to wait until then, but we'll see what we get here. Facts from Cameron, can we take this long? That's up to you, Cameron. But for me personally, I'm waiting for a 5-minute close above these two down close candles. We're delivering from a 15-minute. We took out sell side liquidity and we're inversing a potential 5. So for me, this is a great long. However, you have to realize right now, this move with one NQ contract is a $1,500 loss. So if you're going to take this, guys, with a real account, take it with small size, smaller size, because you have to understand the risk of the trade. We have 2 more minutes until the close. So I want to see a body close above this 5-minute, these two 5-minute FEGs. And again, guys, I honestly, this is a pretty risky trade, okay? I'd give it a 7 out of 10. But Cameron, do you understand what I'm saying, that you have to wait for a body close above the fair value gap? So far, we don't have that. See how the body has not closed above? Okay, good. Okay, so we're about to get the close, but it doesn't look like it's going to close above yet, guys, unfortunately. So now you technically will have to wait for another 5-minute candle. Excuse me. And guys, the reason I would consider this more risky, again, we got a huge rejection on the hourly. We inversed an hourly for value gap, which tells me that we can possibly come down and take out this sell side. Now, again, I am bullish biased today. So that is why I think there's a possibility that this liquidity was the low. But just keep in mind that we did have an hourly inverse here, so this is a riskier trade. But I still do think this has good potential to go up here, at minimum to this. And once this high hits, you move your stop to break even, it's a free trade. But it depends where the close happens here, right? If we get a 5-minute close way up here, then it's going to be a riskier trade. And you're going to have a bigger stop. So just keep that in mind. 4 more minutes till the candle close here. So again, guys, we're waiting 4 minutes until this body closes above. Let me look at ES quick, too. ES also made a lower low. I'm just looking at it to see if there's any SMTs, but it is stronger than NQ. Just keep that in mind. It doesn't really matter, but just a heads up. So we're just counting down, guys. So you see how waiting for the body saves us a lot of the time? If I'm wrong here, instead of just front running the trade, right, I'm waiting, and if I'm wrong, this is going to reject from this 5 minute, and we'll see a big down move. So it saves me because it basically is giving me confirmation. That's why inverse fair value gaps are so powerful, but they have to be combined with liquidity and an understanding of market structure. You can't just long every inverse that inverses and short every inverse that inverses to the downside. That's not how the market works. Dude, Riot is collapsing, down almost 8% today. That is crazy. I think I'm gonna have to close out my miners, guys, because that should not be happening when Bitcoin is close to 100K like it is. And again, I'm still up like probably now like 30%, 32% on that trade. So I wanted to close it for 100% win at minimum, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen based on what's happening with crypto right now. So so guys, no close above. So there is no trade right now. Such a tough spot. Such a tough spot to be in. Because again, guys, I showed you on the hourly why this is risky. We had the hourly close below the inverse. Let me get rid of this quick. And we did take out 2 sets of sell side, but we do have more sell side resting below. So these could easily be targets. It's risky to long here because of this hourly inverse. If this never happened, I would be a lot more inclined to take the longs. But we have to be very cautious and wait for the 5 minute close above here. Otherwise, no trade. Okay, big dump here. We have more sell side resting below. As you guys know, right here we have sell side and here we have sell side. So do not be surprised if these get hit. So you guys see how this 5-minute inverse saved us? We were waiting for a close above the fair value gap to signal confirmation of a reversal in the markets, and we never got it. So instead of front running a trade like you probably would have here if you don't have a good model, you saved yourself from this huge down move. And on one NQ contract, that was a $1,500 loss. So this model is like unmatched. There's very few things that I've ever seen that come close to it. Now, of course, you have to have your liquidity bias as well, like I said, and you have to understand market structure and why not things are happening, but it still helps a ton. Okay, so get ready to see this low get swept, most likely. You guys, today could definitely be a sell day. If we're wrong about the daily fair value gap being the low of the year, then this could be a sell day for sure. Okay, so there's that sell side, guys. This to me, now that I've seen this, okay, we had a failure to reverse here. We had a failure to reverse here. This tells me this is pretty darn bearish today. And you can say, oh, you're like a little bit late. Obviously, things happen, but there was no signal for me to take any shorts today. I was bullish. I'm not going to go against my bias. And sometimes you guys are going to be wrong and you're going to miss out on opportunities. But you have to understand too that the goal in the market is to make money, but you want to protect your capital first. And I didn't take a single trade after this one, so I'm profitable today, even though my bias was wrong. I was profitable based on these equal highs that I thought would hit, and they did. And now we're getting a reversal. If I was short, I would have taken this hourly inverse, most likely. Probably right here, I would have taken this short. Because this 5-minute never closed above, and it was a retracement after an hourly inverse fair value gap. But again, I just didn't take it because it's not part of my bias, and yeah, we want to take something that is in congruence with what we thought would happen. So that's the reason I didn't take a trade, and I'd much rather keep money than lose money. But now on this hourly, like I told you guys, it looks like it's going to target all this sell side. We could even get below this 4-hour fair value gap, which is definitely not good for the market as a whole. It signifies a change in structure. So we will have to see what happens, guys. But yeah, definitely not liking what I'm seeing. Really considering if I should close out this riot position. Because like I said, I mean, I'm still up like 30% on the position. Now it's like 29. But whether I take 10Ds or I just let it move to break even as my stop. Not 100% what I'm going to do just yet, guys. I want to see what happens for the rest of today. Because if this really is a fake out down move, which it's definitely possible still, whether you guys want to believe it or not, it's still possible that this is a fake move down. What I think is going to be really important now is going to be this 4-hour candle. So I told you guys the hourly was important, which it is. But this wick is concerning for sure. Especially with seasonality trends and December being the potential Santa Claus rally, this is not ideal right now. So really, really important that the next 4-hour close. I want to see what this does, and then obviously the daily is important too, but the next few days, next few candles in the 4-hour are going to be important to watch. So yeah, guys, just take notes of what happens in this set of new week opening gaps here. Also, if you guys don't use new week opening gaps, I can teach you at another time if you don't know what they are. But they are really, really great magnets for price and also areas for support and resistance. But put this on your charts. The new week opening gap / new day opening gap by Kryptonite. They are excellent. It's an excellent indicator. I don't know who this guy is, but I used the previous 20 new week opening gaps on my chart because they last for a very long time. I used them yesterday for Confluence. Look how we bounced perfectly at the low of these new week opening gaps, and then we had a huge move higher. So we could easily be coming down now to just come back and rebalance them again. It's definitely possible. Let me look at the 5 again and see what we have here. Completely lack of respect for this 15-minute FVG. We have one more here, but we close below it. Yeah, so this is definitely not bullish for now, guys. We have another 2-minute inverse here that doesn't look terrible. But if it was me, guys, I would wait for this 5-minute to inverse. Everything else here is kind of noise to me. This is what I'm saying, guys. So inverse for value gaps are great, but if you don't understand where to long from, then you're going to get smoked. So like we have this 2-minute, right, that looks good. Okay, we just closed above it. So this is technically lower risk because your stop would be here. But if we're wrong, this is just going to get destroyed. The real PA, the real PDA that's holding down price right now is this 5-minute fair value gap right here. If you guys want something lower risk too, you could try this one. And then I would move your stop to break even when this high hits. So actually that doesn't look that bad. We have 5 minutes till this candle closes. But really, if you want to be low risk, this is the 5-minute I would wait for. So if we close above this 5-minute FVG, I think that this high is going to be next, and then probably high of day. But until this happens, I'm not convinced that market structure is bullish. If we get a very tight close here at this 5-minute, this is not a bad long with your moving your stop to break even here and then just holding and hoping and praying. The 3-minute inversion looks okay, but we have 3 in this leg, so I'm not a huge fan of it. The 5-minute looks better to me because once the 5-minute closes, we can move our stop to break even when this high hits. But again, guys, I'm explaining that this is the real market structure. This is the PD area that's holding down price right now. So you want to see a close above this 5-minute and then a close above this to take longs. Yeah, of course, Tristan. It's all about like switching timeframes and seeing which ones look best. But right now, nothing is telling me that market structure is bullish. Even if this closes above, this is more convincing to me. So if I was to take this, it would be with much smaller size. because I know that what's really holding down price will happen from this rejection right here. And if we now close above this, it's also technically a change in the state of delivery, right? We're going from making lower highs to a higher high, and that changes market structure to potential bullishness. Until then, this could just be like a fake out. So I use IFEGs, but I also need to see market structure change. And the close above this 5-minute is that market structure change, right? Because it makes us go from making lower lows to making a higher high, or a higher, also higher lows, but a higher high. We're making lower highs, and then I want to see a change to make higher highs. That's how I know that market structure is changing. So you guys can keep it simple in that aspect too. But yeah, guys, for now, nothing is telling me bullish. And we know that the hourly inversed, and therefore this low is likely to hit. So that's that, guys. Definitely not bullish right now. And not what I wanted to see going into the end of November. But again, we still have time, right? It's only the 21st. We have another, whatever, how many days? How many days are there in November? 30 days in November. So we got 9 more days of the market. So we'll have to see what the rest of the month delivers for us. But I really would prefer to be seeing bullish PA during these days. Okay, guys, so I think what I'm going to do here, we have a macro coming up at 10:50 to 11:10. I'm going to stay on for this macro, just in case we get a reversal signal. And then if nothing happens by the end of this macro, then we'll sign off. And if I see anything, I'll call in the Discord, obviously. But let's stay on until then. So hopefully we get something live rather than having to keep it private. But we'll see what happens in this macro. So we got 10 minutes till the macro starts, and it runs for 20 minutes. Amazing, guys. If you can have patience in the market, it's going to reward you so much. Like, just think about this. This whole time, I did try a scalp, but it never filled, which I would have been profitable on right here. Right? I tried a long right here to take out this internal high. But the whole time we took one trade, $300 on a 50K account, and that's it. We didn't take a single other trade. We waited patiently. And if nothing sets up, nothing sets up. If you guys were, I didn't live stream yesterday, but I did post a post on X showing where I longed from. It was right here. And I targeted these equal highs, actually, now that I think about it. And we waited all day for the sell-off, not all day, but all morning for the sell-off. And then when the opportunity presented itself, we took the long up to the equal highs. Tristan says I took one scalp for 700 and I have sat since then. Very good, bro. That's the way to do it. Keep patient, wait for A+ setups. If you don't get anything, you don't get anything. Let me zoom into the 1 and the 2 quick. I just want to see what this looks like. So there is a tiny 1 minute here, but nothing that I would take. It's not very obvious. Again, guys, this 5 minute doesn't look terrible, but I would prefer, again, to see this get hit first. Okay, so decent bullish move here. Okay, so we have 3 minutes until this 5-minute close, guys. So nothing yet. But if you guys want to take this 5-minute, I would give it a... I'd give it a 6 out of 10. I do think if this 5-minute inverses, we will likely go to this high where you can move your stop to break even. But I think the A plus setup will come after this 5-minute inverses. So up to you guys what you do. I'm not going to take this 5-minute, though it is possible that it will work. At minimum, I would move your stop to break even once this high hits, because if this 5-minute is going to be a bearish PD array, it will reject from there. So keep that in mind. We got pretty much 2 minutes till the candle close. Also, guys, another trick that ICT talks about is that these wicks do act like fair value gaps. We are getting a bullish reaction from the mean threshold of the wick. You know what, guys? I am going to try this, I think. I'll keep the risk lower, and this will be my one trade for the day. If we get the 5-minute close above, my stop will be at the body of this candle's low, and my break even will be at this high, and if it gets stopped out, it gets stopped out. But it really doesn't look bad. I just need to see a 5-minute close above, which we haven't gotten yet. So, and it looks like we are not going to get it. So we did not get a body close above, guys. So I cannot take this trade. Unfortunately, it may run without me, but I'd rather be I'd rather miss out than be wrong. You guys need to have a repeatable model. Okay, so you can back test your data and see what works and what doesn't. But if I long this right now and I go back to review my trades at the end of the day, what am I going to review? There was no setup. So I'd have to label it as a chase or a FOMO trade. And in that case, there's why am I tracking FOMO and chase data? I mean, it's good to track it so you can see where your mistakes are, but this is a mistake for me. I wouldn't take this long. I hope you guys understand that. And so what? If you have to see this candle come all the way up here, who cares? Like what is in the grand scheme of things over 100 days? One trade is not going to make or break your trading. If you feel that way, you're either unprofitable or you're extremely anxious, or you don't understand trading. So you need a model, guys. If you don't have a model, you're going to get screwed in the long term. Right? Because if I'm wrong here and I'm trying to chase this, I'm saying, oh, well, the next 5-minute candle, it might close up here and I'm going to miss out on all this money. Okay, well, this could also be a wick that rejects and you lose a bunch of money. Especially because right now we're not seeing indications of longs. We're making lower highs every single time. So until this really changes, you shouldn't be thinking light bulb, this is the one, this is the long. So hope that makes sense to you guys. Okay, so looks like this high is going to hit now. And now we want to see what happens here. This is important. We want to see what happens in this 5-minute fair value gap. That's going to give me a strong indication of what's going to happen for the rest of the day. If we close above it and close above this 5-minute, even on one candle, that's a super bullish sign. Right? But if we get an immediate wick out of this 5-minute fair value gap, that's not a good sign. Doodle doot, 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 doodle doot. Guys, I still have faith for longs today. I still do. 4 hour is looking wicky, which I like. What I'm anticipating here maybe is happening is, again, we're getting that last liquidity stop, a liquidity run that's sweeping a bunch of longs, and then for the rest of the week and the rest of the month, we get bullish PA. That's what I'm expecting here on the 4 hour. But this 4 hour candle doesn't close until, what, 1400? So we have a ways to go until this 4 hour closes. So we don't know for sure yet. But that's what I'm anticipating here. Doot 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 doot. Doot 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 doot. Doot doot doot. Doot 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 doot. You guys see how I'm not FOMOing in? We have this 5-minute fair value gap here, and if we're bearish, this is going to reject. I want to see a change in the state of delivery. I close above this 5-minute fair value gap, and this one is also holding down price. And that tells me at minimum that we're going to go back up to this high. Because everybody that's short right now has their stop above this high. And if they're really, really, really terrible traders, they're going to scream and cry that they're losing money, and they're going to move their stop above this high right here. So these two are the targets for me that I'm aiming for today. But until we get a change in the state of delivery of the market, meaning making a new higher high, then there's no trade for me. And I'm using fair value gaps as confluence, these bearish PD rays that are holding down price, as the other indicator that's going to determine whether or not I'm correct. Because if we reject from this bearish PD ray, then we know that the state of delivery is still bearish. But once we close above it, I know that there's a change in the state of delivery, and we should be bullish at minimum to this high. You guys can also take a partial in here if you want, and hold your runners up to buy side, and then this internal high on the hourly that we rejected from earlier, right here. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, but if we get a close above this 5-minute, know that if I was here, I would take this long, and if I get here by the time it does, I will take it with you guys live. So stay put. All right, so bullish close so far. Whoever's still here. This looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like this is gonna reverse. But again, once this 5-minute inverses, then I will take the long. Because no matter what I think, we could still easily reject from this level. So just know that. One thing I like on the weekly on Riot, so if you guys look at this, you see how we have this tiny weekly fair value gap and we're wicking through it right now? This to me signals that this might have been inducement for shorts and people just to get scared of selling their positions. So if we get a nice strong weekly close above this fair value gap, I do like that. We're still in bullish market structure here and we have all these highs up here that I want. But okay, looks great so far on the 5-minute. So hopefully this holds, guys. And that's when we'll look to take our longs. David says, new week opening gap plus EH. What's EH? New week opening gap plus EH from 2 degrees is good also. David, if you're listening to where I said new week opening gap, you're probably super delayed right now. I don't know if you guys are live, but make sure on your video that it says live. Because if you're listening to me talking about new week opening gaps, that was like 20 or 30 minutes ago, I'm pretty sure. Unless I said something I'm not catching right now. So guys, this does look really bullish, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna chase it, but this is like very, very, very reminiscent of a change in the state of delivery. However, this 5-minute PD rate is the last thing holding down price, so this could be the area. Oh, okay, good, David. Yeah, Event Horizon is really good. I don't personally use it. I just use new week opening gaps, but I know people that use it that have great success with it. But guys, you guys can see here that the change in the state of delivery seems to be happening. And we have this internal buy side here that I think is going to get hit. And then we can look to target the high of day. That's what I think is probably going to hit at some point. So let me just pull up. What's ES doing? Did ES make an SMT? No, all of them made lows, and now ES is a lot stronger than NQ right now, guys. It's already hit. ES has already hit this this high right here. Sorry, my feet are itchy because I'm wearing socks and they're like messing up my skin. Wow, so huge wick on the hourly here, guys, and the 4-hour. This to me signifies that we're probably going to be bullish. I don't want to front run just yet, but again, if we get a close above this 5-minute, I will take a long, and my stop to break even will be at this high, and my take profit will be at this high. That's what I'm thinking here. Okay, guys, we have 2 minutes till the close, so give me 2 seconds. I gotta get my coffee. Oh, this looks like a beauty. All right, guys, if I front run this. This looks so good. We still got 2 minutes till the close though, so I can't, unfortunately. 15 is not really a fair value gap. 10-minute, there's not. The 3. Guys, if you want to front run this, the 3-minute has closed above, which looks pretty darn good. But there's also another 3-minute holding down price right here. Honestly, I would just wait for the 5. Which happens in a minute. So again, guys, I am gonna use one NQ contract on this funded account. If I long right here and I get stopped out on this, like on a leg down, it's gonna be for a max loss on the day, so I'm gonna blow this eval. But I'm okay with that. Okay, so 8 o'clock candle just came. I'm gonna set a limit buy for right here, I think. So hopefully we get a retrace. Technically, you guys should be in from right here, though. Look at the 1 minute quick. So we do have a tiny 1 minute for value gap right here that we could reject from, just a heads up. Okay, guys, I'm going to scalp this quick. Is this not going to give me the fill? Wow. I think at minimum, guys, we should go to this 1 minute. I don't like this immediate rejection, but should have just waited for my limit fill. Your stop loss should move to break even when we hit this high. Your take profit, your stop loss will be a 5-minute close back below this fair value gap, so it should be right here. And again, guys, I hope you size correctly because we've had huge moves today as far as points are concerned. So even one NQ contract, as you can see, I'm going to get stopped out for max loss if this trade goes against us. But technically, your stop will be a 5-minute close back below this fair value gap. So because of the size on this eval, I might get stopped for max loss in the day, which is $1,000, which is like right here, I think. But if you guys are sizing accordingly on a real account, then your stop should be at the close below this 5-minute FEG. And your stop to break even will be when this high hits. Or if you want, you can move your stop to break even when this 1 minute fair value gap hits. If it does. Wow, Riot is coming back too. That's nice. I thought this was a goner, but it's back to almost 12 bucks. So I'm hoping that there's not going to be an SMT with ES. That's the only thing I'm concerned about right now. If you guys see here, ES took out this high and NQ has not taken it out yet, which is right here. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about right now. I would love to see ES take out NQ take out this high to negate the SMT. It's just amazing to me that the market has moved so much today that these tiny moves are 100 points for one MNQ contract. Like right now, look at this. Like a tiny MNQ move is $115. That's wild to me. And guys, I'm trying to pass this eval, so I'm going to keep my stop, my sell limit at the high of this candle right here. I'm going to go for zero or hero. But if you guys want to reduce risk, you can take a profit. You can take a partial at this high or at the mean threshold of this fair value gap, which is at 20,832.50. Or you can hold all the way up. If you have 3 contracts, 3 micros, for example, you can take one here, and one here. Or if you want more profits, you can hold all the way to the top. But again, there is a chance that we don't hit this. So keep that in mind. But you can see here now, guys, we've inversed this 5, and this 5, changing the state of delivery, new high. So at minimum, I think we're going here, but I think we're going here as well. If you're really risk averse, once we hit this 1 minute fair value gap, right, there's a possibility that we reject from here. If you really want, you can move your stop to break even once that hits, but I think that it's going to inverse that and go to this high. Again, we could reject first, come down, and then get it later, but just keep in mind that this is a potential area for rejection, and we're seeing rejection right now. Really would like to see it inverse though. You see a strong green candle with a body close above to take out this high. But we are seeing rejection here, guys, so just a heads up. So we also could come down now into this 3 minute fair value gap, which looks like it's probably going to happen. In which case I might get stopped out for a max loss because I oversized on this eval trying to pass it. But for you guys who are sizing accordingly on a real account, we should hold this 3 minute PD array. If we don't, it's definitely a signal to get out of the trade, but the real exit is going to be a 5 minute close below this inverse fair value gap. Excuse me. So be patient, guys. But again, I've told you this already. We inverse to 5, change in the state of delivery. And we have a lot of people who are short right now who have their stops above this high. So to me, it signifies that this is very likely to hit. Now, I took a risk by longing up here. I mean, it's not really a risk, it's part of the model, but I took a risk by oversizing. So I could easily get stopped out for $1,000 loss on the day. I also have a $300 profit already. So I don't know if it's going to stop me out at like $700 of loss. I didn't even think about that, but hopefully it doesn't, and hopefully we just get the win, but we'll see. So hopefully we get a bullish reaction here, guys, so I don't get stopped out on the trade. Again, I oversized because I'm trying to pass an eval account. I could care less about the account, but with a real account, guys, you should have sized accordingly, and your stop is a 5-minute close back below the inverse fair value gap. Let me look at the 1 minute quick. So we want to see this close above. I don't want to see a rejection from here. All right, this is a 1 minute fair value gap, and it looks like it's rejecting. So that is not a good sign for currently for longs, but again, the real close is a 5-minute close below this fair value gap. Sorry, the inverse, which is right here. Right, guys, so it's totally understandable if we come back down into this 5-minute. We just want to see bullish reactions out of it. Ideally, we don't even come down there and we just push here so that I don't get stopped out on the trade. But for you guys that are long, just because my eval gets stopped out, guys, does not mean that you guys should stop out. For you, it's a 5-minute close back below the inverse. Okay, I like this candle so far, but we need to see follow through here. And again, guys, your stop should definitely be at break even when we hit this high. Man, this is taking forever. We need to see big pushes here. Okay, I like that candle so far. But I want to see a close now above this 1 minute right here. Right? We want to see a strong 1 minute close above it. Don't want to see it stalling after taking out little highs like this. All right, guys, we want to see big green candles. Otherwise, we'll probably see retracements back down into this area. Tristan with the 5 minute OB. Yep, we also have a 5 minute order block. It's also a breaker block. I mean, technically this is a breaker block because we made a low, high, lower low. So everyone that was long got their hearts broken. Also, if you draw this out, it's kind of like an arrow pointing up. That's how you know it's a breaker block. And it's a fair value gap. So longing in here or in here is technically a unicorn setup, if I'm not mistaken. That's what ICT calls it. Stop to break even at this high, take profit at this high. So yeah, technically, again, we can come down into these fair value gaps. It's possible. In which case, I might get stopped out on this funded account, on this eval account, but that's fine. Again, I'm just trying to pass it, so if I lose it, I lose it. Could care less. But for you guys, again, stop is technically a 5 minute close below this IFEG. But really, it's a stop below this 1 minute because, or this 5 minute, because that's the last bullish PD ray holding up price. And again, I'm hoping we don't come down here because I have $1,000 stop on this eval account. So it's probably going to get hit, but it's fine. I'm not going to cry, right? Bum, 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 bum. Should have waited for a retracement, but excuse me. Wow, right, it's back above 12 bucks. So that was kind of like a low-key fake out for the day. So again, we're trading into the high of the order block / breaker block here. Hopefully the top of it holds so that I don't get stopped out. Bum, bum, Look at guys, I'm really liking this reaction on Riot. Look at the wick that we formed at the weekly OB. This could potentially be the low for Riot before we have a huge move higher. Potentially. But good eye Tristan for seeing the order block / breaker block here. Combined with an IFEG, combined with double fair value gaps, actually triple ones, it's a pretty good looking area to long. I'd rather see it not come down and just react here, but it is allowable to see it come down here. What do you guys think? Am I going to get stopped out on this eval for $1,000 max loss? It's amazing how you can be right and then be wrong, because this could easily retrace. Like I said, I should have waited for a better entry, but yeah, I could easily get stopped out, and then we'll be done on this eval for the day, but that's okay. I think it's going to get stopped out. I think we're going to get a retracement down and then the long later. But if I get lucky here, it'll hold this, the top of the OB, and then go. One minute bearish OB. Yeah, but like the bias right now is bullish. So I don't really take into account little 1 minute OBs. But yeah, if you're looking to see if we're going to retrace lower on the long, then yes, you can try and use those like little 1 minute OBs, but not really concerned too much about it. This is a long trade though, I'll tell you that. It's taking longer than I thought it would. But again, guys, I think this high is going to hit as long as we close above this 1 minute fair value gap. So far, we're seeing a decently strong push, but I need to see these bodies hold. And once we close above this, guys, I'm going to move my stop to break even. If I get lucky enough for this trade to work out, and then I'm just going to hold for all the way up here. Because I think if I get this, I'll pass the eval with one contract, but we'll see. Again, guys, I care less about this account. If this was a live account, I would be taking a partial here, a partial here, and a partial here. So if you guys are trading with a cash account right now, these are your areas to take partials. For me, because it's all situational. For me, because of what I'm dealing with right now, it's an eval account I could care less about. I want to pass in one trade. Then I'm going to hold it all the way up to the highs. That's a risk that I'm willing to take. And if you guys really want to be risk averse, if this high gets taken right here, move your stop to break even. Till you get so smack that. Whoa, whoa. I don't know why that song just came into my head. Wow, Bryant's finally pushing, guys. Look at this. 12-17 now. Let's go. Thought that trade was a goner. Okay, very nice reaction. Guys, again, if you want to be risk averse, when this high hits, move your stop to break even. If you get stopped out, you get stopped out. Be okay with taking break even trades. And if it runs without you, it runs without you. So guys, I think I am going to move my stop to break even at this high because of my entry. It's really shitty. And I'd rather, if it's going to retrace further, I'd rather not have to have this eval account get stopped out for the day and be able to take a better entry later. So. Okay, nice push so far. Okay, guys, my stop is at break even on this. If I get stopped for break even, that's fine. And then again, if you want to take a partial, take it at this high. On the 1 minute, I want to see a close above this 1 minute fair value gap. So definitely right now, guys, I think your stop should be at break even. That's just my opinion, though. That's up to you. Because if we are truly bullish, we should just continue here. We should not stall at this high. We should close above this 1 minute FEG, and we should go to this high. So it's a free trade now, guys. Whatever happens, happens. It's a free trade. Again, but if we are actually somewhat bearish on the day here, then we should just reject this, right? We want to see continuation here if we're truly bullish. Don't want to see it stall. So you see how that bearish 1 minute OB did nothing, Tristan? Oh, so if I get stopped out, now I get stopped out, guys. It's the name of the game. It's because I chased. I mean, I didn't really chase, but I did actually kind of chase. I got a bad entry. Your entry should have been right here. Right? Yeah, this should have been your entry right here. So you should have been in here much lower. So your risk is, you'd have a less chance of getting stopped out. So this might have been that stop out candle to stop out some late longs, and then maybe we push it now. But I want to see a 1 minute close above this inverse fair value gap. It's the last bearish PD array that's holding down price right now. And then what I would like to see from there is that this be a breakaway gap and that we don't come back. We just keep pushing all the way up to highs here. That's what I'd like to see. Who's in this trade, by the way, guys? I know Facts from Cameron is. Anybody else? So Facts from Cameron, is your stop at break even now? Because this should be a free trade for you guys. It's the house's money. Whatever happens, happens. Let's go. Good job, guys. So you guys see how we sit. We manage the trade. We read it on the 1 minute. Chad, I'm waiting for 11:30 manipulation below sweep and go for longs. 11:30 manipulation. That doesn't always happen. I mean, it could, definitely. But, I mean, this looks pretty bullish now. It looks like we're going to inverse this one. And if we do, we should be going for this high. So we have 30 seconds left for this candle close. So if we get a full-bodied candle closing above the 1 minute fair value gap, this should definitely deliver us to this internal high. In which case, at that point, we might get a reversal, but probably not. I'm assuming we will go back to this high. Again, there's definitely a chance that this 5 minute fair value gap smokes us. So if you guys really want to, you can take a partial at this high. But that's up to you guys. I think that they brought the market down here to induce shorts, and I think we're going back up to here. So I'm telling you guys right now, if I had a cash account right now that I was trading with, I would take my partial here, a partial here or at the 50%, and I'd leave a runner to this high. But because I'm in an eval account and I'm trying to pass it on one trade, I'm holding this fully. I hope that makes sense, guys. So 1 minute. 11:30 most likely gonna sweep the 1 minute equal lows. Which 1 minute equal lows are you talking about? These two? Because if you're talking about these, this is very unlikely. These are very close to each other. They're within the same two candles. There's no separation, so they're not a high likelihood liquidity draw. Guys, the only issue right now, fuck, I'm kind of torn because I'm up 1,000. If I let this go to 0, then I'm gonna get stopped out for break even on the day. So maybe I should take this. You know what, guys? I'm gonna take it here. Just in case we get a reversal. If you guys want to take profits here, take profits here. I do still think it's going to go to this high, but maybe take half of your position off. Again, I'm on an eval, so if I let this trade go to break even again, I'm going to be down 1,000, and it's going to basically be like a max loss for the day. So I can't, unfortunately, let it run. I just realized that. That's how funded and prop firm accounts work. So I did take that, but it's $1,000 win. If you guys want to take up again, if you're in a cash account, you can just hold. But I would suggest taking a partial here, like I said I would, here, and then I'd leave a runner for this high. But Chad, do you understand that these equal lows right here that are right next to each other are unlikely to hit? It's possible that they do hit, but the more likelihood equal lows to hit are the ones that are like far in distance between each other. But these right here are not equal lows. They're relatively equal, but this low right here swept this low. So these are not equal lows. Previous 90-minute cycle low. There's no equal lows anywhere here. Brother, the 15-minute BISI is right here, and the high of the BISI is right here. There's no equal lows at that level. Okay, smooth lows, they're called relative equal lows, you're correct, but equal lows they are not. And for those of you guys who are wondering between relative equal lows, which one is more important? I mean, they're both important, but equal lows that are literally perfect are more important. So like, for example, the same thing goes for equal highs. We have a set of equal highs at 21,171.75 and 21,312 on the hourly, daily, 4-hour chart, whatever you want to call it. So the perfectly equal highs and perfectly equal lows are much more important draws on liquidity. So just so you guys understand. And right now, I'm telling you right now, if we inverse this 5-minute fair value gap, we are going to push quite a bit higher on the day, in my opinion. I was thinking this was going to happen earlier today right here, but we never got the 5-minute close above. But now I do think this is going to drive us higher. So here's another thing I'll do, guys, because this is an eval account. If we get a 5-minute close above this SIBI, or whatever, sell side, or is it? It's a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, right? It's a bearish PD array. If we close above it and we get some kind of a 1-minute inverse, I'll take it up to these two highs right here. But for now, my trade is done. Again, if we're gonna retrace from here, I don't want to get stopped out for $1,000 trailing drawdown. Even though it's profit, it's still trailing drawdown if you are in a prop firm account. On my funded accounts, I don't have to worry about that because once you hit $2,600 profit on a 50K prop firm, you don't have to worry about trailing drawdown on an Apex. I don't know about my funded futures, but I use Apex personally for a majority of my fundeds. But yeah. So yeah, guys, what I think is going to happen here. So we have this 5-minute inverse. We closed above. We created these two sets of order blocks, and we have a breaker block here. So if we are bullish today, price should not sweep these lows. So Chad is talking about how he wants to wait for a return below this order block. I think if this comes back down below this OB, the odds of this hitting today become a lot slimmer. We want to see continuous delivery here. We want to see a potential breakaway gap in this area. Like if we immediately reject lack of displacement above this internal high and we dump below these order blocks, probabilities of continuation to the upside today reduce significantly, in my opinion. So I'd want to see either this be a breakaway gap or a small tap into it and then continuation higher. I do not want to see a retracement down to here. We read it. And if these do get hit, guys, again, it's possible that we reverse, but the odds of us reversing back to the upside after these lows get swept become less likely. That's fine, Chad. I'm just telling you that this 90-minute cycle thing doesn't always need to happen. Just because these are lows from a previous 90-minute cycle does not mean that they need to be swept to go higher. In fact, like I said, if these do get swept, I think it's very likely that we don't reverse all the way up today. I don't like this lack of displacement above these highs. So you guys see, thank goodness I took profits here. Because if I didn't, I would be almost down $1,000 here on trailing drawdown. Even though it's profit, I would still get stopped out for the day. Those lows doesn't have SMT, right? Mean they are not protected. NQ can sweep those and continue bullish. Yeah, I mean they can, but I don't know. ES is a lot stronger. I would prefer to see both of them hit this high. I don't want to see retracement down to these lows. If we do see retracement here, I don't think that this is going to be bullish for the rest of the day. I could be wrong, but I would prefer not to see this. This tells me that we're probably going to go down to somewhere in this IFEG. But yeah, no SMT with ES yet. They both took out this high. They're both making higher highs here. The real SMT will happen if ES is able to sweep its high and Q is not able to sweep its high. That's a real SMT. Na 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 na. Hey hey hey, goodbye. Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Oh, whoops. Sorry, guys. Can you guys see my screen? What am I on? ES? How do I get this back? Hold on. Can you guys see my NQ screen now? All right, good. I can see it. So what I would like to see here, guys, these are obviously down close candles. These are like miniature order blocks on the 1 minute. I would like to see this be the low, and I'd like to see this 1 minute inverse and then continuation higher. But if we sweep these lows, and we don't have an immediate bullish reaction, I am very, my bias for continuation on the day back up to highs reduces a lot. I'd rather not even see these get touched, but let's see. I'll be right back. right. What's happening? What's your view on the daily time frame? Okay, so what do I see on the daily, guys? I have explained this before, but let me just remove my executions quick so that we can see things better. So seasonally, you guys know, I've explained this earlier in the chat, but seasonally November and December are bullish months for the markets. And I expect to see like a December Christmas Santa Claus rally. We just balanced this daily fair value gap and the 4 hour. We came down and swept it by a tick. And now I'm seeing wicks in the daily. So this tells me we're accumulating for longs. I want these equal highs to hit by the end of the year. Hopefully see a new all-time high. And that kind of goes in line perfectly with Bitcoin hitting 100K, with miners rocketing, meme coins, blah, 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 blah. So I think we came down here to balance the daily. And yeah, I called on X. By the way, if you guys don't follow me on X, you guys can subscribe or whatever, follow me or subscribe to me on YouTube. In my Discord, I also called that this was going to be the low for the year. In fact, I can pull it up for you guys if you don't believe me. Let me see here. I think I did it under market overview. So if you guys look here, I said, what do I expect to happen in the markets in December? Historically, December is a bullish month, aka Santa Claus rally. From a technical standpoint, we just bounced the daily FEG. This was on the 17th, guys. So today is what, the 21st? So this is 4 days ago. From a technical standpoint, we just bounced the daily FEG, and I'm expecting to see a bullish rest of November heading into Thanksgiving and a bullish December. If we are bullish, it should really start this week or early next week. Essentially, we're looking for a strong reaction off the bottom of the daily, which was right here. And you can see that is right here. So we got a strong reaction off the bottom of the daily, just like I called. And that's why we took big longs yesterday and we're taking longs today. So that is what I saw. So guys, now we are, oops, let me lock this in place. We are inversing this 1 minute. So I think this is going to be a nice reaction. I want to see an inverse of this one as well. And again, my target is going to be these two highs right here. Yeah, and Chad, it's like that weekly profile of Tuesday low of week. Yeah, I think maybe it was you that we talked about it in the chat a few days ago. But definitely looking like a low of week and potentially a low of year. And I called on X that I think this is the low of year. I think it was formed right here on the 4 hour. I think this was potentially the low of the year. But we obviously need to see continuation here, and I'd like to see this hit today. Like I said. Oh, this is your first time? Okay, so maybe it wasn't you. Somebody I talked to talked about the Tuesday low of week profile. But Chad, do you do ICT a lot? Is that your primary trading model? Because you're talking about cycles, which to me is like almost like sounds like quarterly theory or something. I don't use cycles, but I know some people do. For sure, bro. Yeah, I mean, listen, whatever works for you works for you. If it works, it works. Is there something else that we missed here? But yeah, so I'll be looking for consolidation on the large Judas swing down to start the week, which we got. You guys can see this was the Judas swing right here. It happened before market open, but then we also got another Judas swing here and another Judas swing here. So we're getting lots of Judas swings to probably for big money to accumulate longs. Chad, are you a full-time trader? Yes. So, well, I do real estate in LA. So I do real estate flips. I have a partner. I do all the marketing. I find deals, and then we split profits on flips like 50-50. So I have two sets of income. It's real estate flips in LA and then trading as well. But I will tell you guys this, the majority, I've said this before, but the majority of my income comes from real estate and option selling as well as swing trading. Day trading is the smallest amount of income for me. I'm looking to make it bigger, but I make enough from my swing trades and my option selling to the point where I don't really have to day trade. But I think it's important for people to learn. It's a good skill. I don't think that day trading is something guys should be doing to retire yourselves. You should be focusing on other forms of income as well as day trading, using that to invest, sell options and swing trade, and day trading is kind of like icing on the cake. Chad, I wish I was born in the USA. Where were you born, Chad? Option selling in stocks or indices? Both. I sell QQQ and SPY options, but also stocks. The majority of the stocks that I sell options on are Tesla. And then there's like smaller ones. Sometimes I do Disney, sometimes I do Boeing. Oh, damn, you're in India. Can you guys trade? You can trade. I heard something like there was one of my Discord members. He's from Uganda, and I don't think he can trade NQ and ES for whatever reason. Or is Uganda or some other African country? There's like restrictions, but I'm assuming in India you can trade US futures. You can trade NQ and ES. Wow, thank goodness Riot is pushing, guys. I was getting scared for this bad boy, but this looks like, guys, if I had to guess. So if you look at the last bull run on Riot, before I do this, I'll answer Chad. India, we can trade US futures, but not Forex. Okay. Yeah, honestly, fuck Forex. Forex sucks. The spreads are nasty. It can be manipulated. I don't understand why people trade it. I think most Forex traders are scammers. I think they're liars. There's some that are profitable, but I think the majority are not. And futures like ES and NQ are the best way to go. But if you guys look at Riot, okay, the last time we had this very bullish reaction, we had this huge wick, and it induced a lot of traders to go short. We also had this very scary weekly candle. And then after that, we had these massive runs, right? And we even went up to new all-time highs, or new yearly highs, because I think Riot was higher. Yeah, it's like been a lot higher in the past. But now we are getting this kind of scary down close candle and another one. But this weekly wick to me signifies that this might be the low and that we're going to push through all these highs. I'm going to take most of my profits off at 23.66 if we get it, and then leave runners hopefully up to this high. That would be nice, but we'll see what happens in this leg of crypto runs. So Chad, we are getting that low that you were talking about, possibly here. And unfortunately, if this low gets swept, I am less inclined to believe that we're going to get a new high of day today. But we might get lucky. Maybe we get an S&T with ES. Let me see here. So ES just took the low. I don't know what's going to happen with NQ. But guys, I think I'm going to be done here. One thing I will note to you guys, if we get a 5-minute close above this fair value gap, I think this will be a great long. It's going to be a terrible RR, but I think for sure we're going to hit this and this high if this 5-minute inverses. If you guys want to try something a little bit lower risk, not really a huge fan of anything here. If we sweep this low and then we get a 3-minute inverse here, you guys can try that if you want. What's Chad saying? 11:30 most of the times market seeks liquidity, so it could easily sweep this low and consolidate the whole of lunch and move in PM session higher or continue now higher. I agree with you. I just would prefer especially if we were looking for high of day, to not see retracements here. But you are correct. It can happen. It's just not a huge fan of it. Now we do have a 15-minute FVG here that we could also be coming down to balance. We close back above the hourly, which is good, so I'm going to delete that. Let's look at the 9:45 3-minute IFVG. Not half bad. Not half bad, my friend. I do like that. To London lows, that's a great trade. I was just bullish, so I didn't want to take any of this, but I think that's a decent trade for sure. And you took, I mean, that was a great RR too. Tiny stop loss for all the way to London low is right here, right? At 20,000. Or no, it was here. Still, great trade. I like that a lot. But yeah, guys, so I think I'm going to get off here. But once these lows get swept, if they do, they don't have to. If we get especially if they do get swept and we get a 3-minute inverse here, you can try that. Stop to break even at this high. And then I would just honestly hold runners all the way up here. Now it sucks to be a prop firm in a prop firm eval account because of trailing drawdown, but for cash accounts, you can just hold to Valhalla. So I would take a partial at the top of the 5-minute and this high, and then I would leave a runner to here, which is the mean threshold of the 5-minute fair value gap. So I would take a partial, guys, here or here, whichever you prefer, the mean threshold, and then at buy side. But yeah, guys, so we've been streaming since like 5:30. I wish you guys the best. Chad, good to meet you, bro. If you guys don't follow me on X, it's the same as my username here, the Checkmate Trader, I think is what it is. Checkmate Trading or the Checkmate Trader. It's one of the two. Just look for that logo, the orange castle. And yeah, Top Step is the best prop firm. Which one are you using? Apex? I use Apex and my funded futures. I have never used Top Step. I've heard it's good, but I think if you're using one of those three, you'll be fine. Apex was just the one that I was initially drawn to, and I've had no issues with them. I've gotten payouts. Had never had a problem with payouts, though I know some traders do. Why do you? I'm just curious, Chad. Why do you like Top Step the most of all the prop firms? So you've only used My Funded Futures. My Funded Futures is good too. I've gotten payouts from both. But is there a reason you prefer My Funded Futures over Apex? Or also why were you considering switching to Top Step? What do you like best about My Funded Futures? We ready. Yeah, no activation fee. But for My Funded Futures, isn't it like 80 bucks? I mean, it's still cheaper. The only My Funded Futures evals I have are through, there's like a promotion code, so I paid like $48 total. No activation fee for the 50Ks. But next, I want to try and start unlocking 250K accounts, so I'll keep the 50K fundeds, but I want some higher ones too. $80 is like 1 month's salary in India. Crazy. That is so wild. Yeah, bro, if you live in another country and you're dealing with those salaries, I think trading is like the only option. Damn. That is so crazy. Yeah, for all these people, like I was just in Thailand. I went for like 3 months just for like a vacation. And the amount of dudes that I met that make such small amounts of income, Like, you have to find other ways. You have to find ways to make US income. Otherwise, you get screwed. Like, it's amazing. $80 is a monthly salary for a lot of people in India. That's wild. You know, like, I spend $80 in a few minutes. Purchasing power is so good. Yeah, I actually want to come to India. I've been to, I just came back from Zimbabwe, Thailand, Israel. Where else did I go? Why am I blanking? Dubai, I've been to briefly, but I want to actually go back. Can live a good life with $200 in India. $200 a month, huh? Crazy. Okay, guys, I'm gonna head out now, but I wish you guys the best. If I see an A+ setup, I'll call it. Rent costs like $60. That's so crazy, bro. Chad, stay in touch, bro, and if you subscribe, you can join. I mean, you'll see alerts when I live stream. I'd love to talk to you more about India and stuff. And also, if you have an X account, follow me there. I'll follow you back because it's always good to follow other traders. And you seem pretty knowledgeable, and it's always good to connect with people across the world. And who knows, maybe if I visit India, I can come and visit you. But I wish you guys the best. Subscribe, like, blah, 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 and follow me on X so we can chat. You can DM me there, do anything you need. All right, guys. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate it, brother. And